Uh, in Buffalo, they're adjusting to life without Stefon Diggs. And I thought the Josh Allen press conference yesterday about Diggs and the receiving core was enlightening. He was asked if he misses having Stefon Diggs around, and the response was along the lines of, well, I wouldn't say miss. And then he talked his way out of that bag because I think he realized that's not the most ideal soundbite to generate. You're going to have to deal with Diggs at some point. You don't want him to be extra motivated. Not that he's going to need much motivation when it's time to face the Buffalo Bills again. But, the bottom line is, once they changed offensive coordinators last year, when Ken Dorsey was fired after that debacle on Monday night against the Broncos, when they had too many guys for the field goal attempt that missed that would have won the game for the Bills, and Dorsey ended up being the scapegoat, and Joe Brady became the offensive coordinator, Diggs really slipped as it relates to his overall usage in the offense. And you got to ask yourself, how important is this guy to what we're doing going forward? Does it justify what we're paying him? And at the end of the day, they decided to trade him. So I don't think they'll really miss him, because when you look at what happened after they changed coordinators, he really wasn't as involved in the offense as he had been. They began the process of moving away from him. And in hindsight, you could make the argument they should have just moved on from him after that strange thing that played out in June of 2023 when he was at the mandatory minicamp and then he was gone, and the Bills created the impression he stormed out. And the truth was they told him to leave, and somehow they managed to hold it together for one more season, but they probably would have been better off without him. You can never draw a clear line to the issues and struggles a team has based upon the presence or absence of certain players. But this whole Diggs thing had dragged them down. Whether it's on Diggs, whether it's on the team, whether it's a combination, whatever it is, however they got there, it was something that needed to end. And they finally admitted it to themselves after the season. So Josh Allen has to forget about Stefon Diggs and move on. That's really all he can do. And Diggs has to forget about Allen and move on. That's all he can do. But when it's time for them to play, and they may cross paths, I think they play in the regular season this year. I'm pretty sure they do. My brain, I'm going to use this vertigo thing to justify any short-term memory insufficiencies I might have. But if I recall correctly, I think the Bills and the Texans do play this year. They both won their divisions, right? So they both play this year. They play each other this year. So we'll see them cross paths. And I think we see Stefon Diggs face the Vikings fairly early in the season this year. Week 3, if I recall correctly. October 6th is when it's Bills-Texans. So yeah. Get your popcorn from Jody Allen's Popcorn Factory ready for those games. Diggs against both of his former teams. Hoo boy. So be careful what you say about Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen, and everyone else in Buffalo, because he's going to be ready as it is. And don't give any more fuel to the fire. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.